You know, my ranch is located in the northwest portion of the Four Corners of New Mexico and run cattle on 32,000 acres of BLM land.
Ho, girls. Ho. Ho, ladies.
We love being ranchers. We love the long hours, working in the hot sun, working in the cold winter, working with aggravating cattle.
Get down. Jeez.
It's not for everybody. I would begin to tell you that there are a lot of people that aren't suited for it.
It was the thing I grew up wanting to do. It was just in my blood. I've always said, you know, I have a college education, but I chose to be a rancher. You know, it was a real tough decision for me to sell the ideal herd that I'd been trying to build all my life. It was a sickening decision.
So far, I've had 7 calves this summer die, and 2 cows that died, and 1 that is sick. So that's a total of 7 animals. That's all my profit there, right off the top, that they just took out of my pocket. It was a good life for us, you know. It was a good environment to bring up your kids. We have 2 daughters, and both of them were brought up around cattle. They know how to ride horseback, and they can take care of animals. They're responsible.
Hey, Ruru.
And we take pride and joy of ranching. We'd like to live off the land and make a living off of it and take care of it. That's all we know how to do. And I had this vision for a long time, you know. That was our goal, to retire and just run our cows and make a good living off of it. And that's not the case anymore.
Push them.
Yep.
Ho, girls. Ho. Ho, ladies.
The oil and gas came in the 1950s. The oil and gas brought a lot of jobs, brought a lot of work. It was one of those things that it was a real good partnership, and it was well received in the community, and has been actually until very recently.
This is ridiculous. This is a travesty. What you see down here is the closing of a coal bed methane pit. I think you really want to get a picture of him dragging that lining. You've got to get a picture of him dragging that lining out, just ripping it out. Everything that's happening down there is a complete violation of the rules and regulations for the Bureau of Land Management.
What you have in those pits is not only spilled diesel and diesel contamination and oil byproducts, plus all types of drilling muds and acids. You could even see the sheen on the surface from here of the contamination in there. You know, this is a company that is contracted to come in here and dry up this pit. And the easiest way for them to do it, to save hauling that last 2 or 3 truckloads of water, is pull that liner out, and that water will sink right into the soil. So that contamination is going to go down through the soil and into this arroyo that drains right there, and there's natural springs there that run into the river all year long. People like us and all up and down this river, we don't have anything but well water, and the well water's from 30 to 60 feet deep. Why, they're putting it right into the water table.
Exactly.
Well, we reported a violation to the Bureau of Land Management today on the filming and the ripping out of the lining, and they haven't shown up yet.
When they won't go and look at their problems, it's really infuriating to me.
If you've ever dealt with ranchers, they're dealing with some rugged individual alpha folks there too. So once you get them riled up, it's kind of tough to get them cooled down.
When we find problems, we take the BLM out there and show them, take the old companies. And I'm so sick and tired of doing that over and over and over, the same issue.
Once they get their blood up, it's tough.
I've got to where I just boil over when it starts. And you saw Tweety. She's getting the same way.
Tomorrow, what we're going to see is the Bureau of Land Management will be up here to do what they call a scoping.
They're being paid to be there, that's their job. we point out the problems, they agree it shouldn't be happening, and they will go so far as to say, well, it's not happening now and nothing makes you happy. And they insinuate that you might be lying, then I get real angry. You know, that's the one thing that a rancher's word has always been his bond. And if you want to fight with me, well, I cuss my kids or my wife or my dog or call me a liar.
And this is why we need to get this straightened out, because it's happening all over. It's not just happening right here in this area. It's happening to me, and this is why all my cows are testing positive with oil, because they're drinking some of that stuff that's up there. We want it corrected. We don't want to keep on doing it every day and calling you guys and calling the old companies. You need to hammer it down. We don't want to do it. I want to run my business. Let them do their business, but I want my business to be also protected.
I agree with you. I just don't have the people to be able to handle it all.
Yeah.
And so the best thing I can do is react to complaints.
They're sick right now. I know that, because I got a lab test. And that's what really pisses me off, that Steve tells me that there's nothing wrong out here, and damn if there isn't. Ray, it's the same old BS, different day. That's the only thing that's changed is the date.
I do get it. I do get it.
It's no secret what we want. We want the mess cleaned up, and we want to be able to ranch and farm. I mean, if they're doing what they're doing, and you need to go look at it, because you saw it before. You saw the well location. I mean, it's right on the edge of the arroyo. It's not 100 yards from the Animas River. It's ridiculous. If I had done to my grazing permit what oil and gas has done, I would have been pulled off of it. If I had created the surface disturbance, the erosion, the pollution of the water, the noxious weeds, by my bad actions, I would not have a grazing permit. Am I wrong? Neither one of
Why
these.
don't you go show me this torn pit liner?
Okay, sure, be glad to.
Okay.
Yesterday there was lining in here, Buster. Today they pulled all the plastic out and now they're stirring everything up.
Recognize what's going on?
Oh, they're making a heck of a mess. They're supposed to suck all that liquid out before they do this, but they got all that liquid in there and they're just mixing it up with the dirt.
This is hard to watch.
Well, you've seen it as good as it gets. I mean, we're standing right here looking at it, and this stuff goes right into that arroyo and right into the Animas River. You tell me, Ray, when the pit and the liner's there, it's supposed to be folded in and buried. It's not supposed to be stirred like this, right?
Correct.
So we allow them to continue to stir it in? We're not going to stop anything? I mean, this is
The
ridiculous.
problem is this is on a private land. It's not a BLM site. We don't have any legal power to do anything.
The United States needs the oil and gas. This is a prime example of what they're trying to do, and this is just the beginning, I think. With a new energy bill that they just passed, this is just the beginning of it.
As a citizen, I'm concerned. I am absolutely concerned. Because I see the water running, I do. And I understand the municipalities that are getting their water out of here. I do.
Real clear here is that this is on private land, and we don't have any authority here. So as long as you know that.
We're in the courts. The fight has gone to the courts, and the fight is in the media, and the fight is in grassroots organizations from border to border. And the more people that join and understand what's happening are going to be more people that we can count on to step up the plate and say, no, enough is enough.
This is how close. This is the Bureau of Land Management land right here. All of this way. This right there is private. And the arroyo is on BLM. And this is the source of the warm water spring that never freezes up.
And the oil and gas company made a big mistake with us. because they took everything. And when you take everything that a person has worked their life for, you make them dangerous.